shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Darling, here in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday.
A new domestic season, but the same familiarity of the championship flag being unfurled at Paradise. Neil Lennon and his players are ready to defend their 8th consecutive title. First up against St Johnstone, a match you can see exclusively live on Celtic TV if you're watching outside the UK and Ireland. For the fans, well, they're looking for more of the same. Yes, it's a beautiful day here at Paradise. Flag Day, of course. The wives of Billy McNeil and Stevie Chalmers get the honour of unfurling the 8th consecutive championship flag. The fans are getting in early to witness that, and then hopefully the first 3 points of the season against St Johnstone. Myself, Jerry McCulloch, Simon Donnelly, and Celtic women's captain Kelly Clark here, looking forward to this one. And Simon, looking back at those recent memories from that season, last season, the treble season, how much are you looking forward to the new campaign?
Can't wait. It's the first time I've been at Celtic Park, Jerry. Missed a couple of the games at the start of this season. Looking forward to the flag being raised on the 8th title, and then the defence of that title and going for the 9th. It's going to be a fantastic season.
Kelly, I know you're already 10 games or so into the women's season, going well. We'll chat more about that in a second. But the men's game kicking off today, and for these players, it's about just focusing on the job in hand.
Yeah, you know, it's what they've worked hard towards for the past however long it is that they've been in for pre-season, and and they'll be so excited today to get out in front of a packed Celtic Park and after the flag's been raised.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this one. Let's have a look then at the team lineup that Neil Lennon has selected, and it's a debut for Hatem El Hamed at right back. The team reads Scott Bain in goal, a back four of El Hamed, Nir Beaton, Christopher Ayer and Bolly Bolingoli at left back. Scott Brown and Callum McGregor sitting just behind James Forrest, Ryan Christie and Mikey Johnson out in that left wing, with Odsonne Edouard up front. On the bench for Celtic, Gordon, Ralston, Hayes, Morgan, Cham, Sinclair and Griffiths. Simon, first of all, how much are you looking forward to seeing our new right back in action?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. I haven't seen Bolingoli either, so I'm looking forward to seeing both of these players. You know, you look through the team there, there's a real core from last year, but the new additions, I am excited to see how it pans out for them. A similar shape to last year, but we're used to. I know we kind of tested the three at the back with maybe Griffiths and Edward up front. I thought maybe they two would have started today. Griffiths starts on the bench, so it's interesting to see how it pans out.
A bit of pressure on El Hamed's shoulders this afternoon, Kelly. He's only played 45 minutes in a bounce game for the reserve, so to get your first minutes in a big occasion like this in front of a packed Celtic Park, but I'm sure the professional that he is, he'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously seen something in training that they really like to throw him in here in front of a packed Celtic Park. You know, it's fans that expect a lot from everyone that's on the park, but I'm sure he'll be up to the task. And you know, he's out here for the warm-up just now. He's probably absolutely buzzing at how many people are already inside the stadium, and he'll be ready to go.
So at right back, the new boy El Hamed. At left back, we've had a good few opportunities to see Bolingoli. One thing you can't dispute is the boy's engine, energy he's got, and in fact he's always looking for the ball is something that has impressed me, Simon.
Yeah, well, he's got big boots to fill there with Kieran being out the team at the moment. You know, from Tierney's performance, he's rampaging down the left. But I've heard he's very athletic. As I say, I haven't seen him yet. Looking forward to seeing him today, as well as the right back.
All right, let's get the thoughts then of Celtic manager Neil Lennon in the tunnel with John Ledwith.
Neil, Saturday, 3 o'clock, that's exciting enough, but Flag Day, do you still get that real emotion on a day such as today?
Yeah, I think it's already been emotional with the walk-up, the parade, and seeing all the fans. It's a beautiful day. So yeah, the great moments for the players, and you know, hopefully now we see the flag being raised as, you know, a symbol of all their efforts from last season, and then we get back to doing it all again.
In week 1 of 38, what will be difficult matches throughout the season, starting with a tough opponent in St Johnstone.
Yeah, shrewd manager, and you know, difficult not to crack sometimes, so it might take a bit of patience. But what I want is to get on the front foot and be purposeful with our play. I think the lads have started the season very well, and we just want to carry on in the same vein.
A debut for Hatem El Hamed. You'll be pleased to be able to bring him in so soon, given some of the issues you have at the back today.
Yeah, obviously with Jozo and Christopher out, having Hatem here is it's a real plus. He had 45 minutes and a bounce game on Wednesday, came through it okay, so he's ready to go.
And in the three, playing just off Edward up front there, lots of pace, and there's a bit of flexibility too.
Yeah, well, I mean, we may need to change the formation if, you know, we're getting frustrated, and we've got a couple of ideas in the way we maybe need to change the effects in Johnson, so we'll see how we go to start with and be as flexible as we can as the game goes on.
Best of luck, Neil.
Thanks, cheers.
Lennon talking there about the emotional scenes walking up the Celtic way with the trophy, and for a lot of young fans, we look about here, Simon, there's a lot of young fans who don't know anything but success at this club. You and I are old enough to remember that the title was not a foregone conclusion here, and I'm sure Neil Lennon will be reminding his players that today, if ever they are getting complacent in any way, because these fans, they know what the title's all about and how much they've enjoyed the last few seasons. They want it to continue.
Yeah, the demand's there every season at Celtic, especially now that we're sitting on 8 titles in a row. You know, there's history to be made with this team. I think Neil spoke about it yesterday. He says whether it's one title you've won here or 8, the hunger has to be there again to do it all over again. I was fortunate enough to do it once, but only once in my career. So some of these guys are sitting on 8. It's a fantastic achievement, but they start again today. The real work starts again after the flag gets raised.
Kelly, Neil Lennon himself may have been a sitting midfielder who liked to kind of patrol that centre circle, but as a manager he likes attacking football, he likes getting the ball forward quickly, and with those three players sitting in behind Edouard, James Forrest, Ryan Christie, in particular Mikey Johnson, who's been so good in pre-season, you've got pace, you've got trickery, you've got goals in there as well.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, that's a defender's worst nightmare. You know, a fast, tricky player running at you is the hardest thing to do as a defender. You don't know if they're going to come inside, go outside, and all three of them have the ability to do both. So you've really no idea what's coming, and you know, I expect today that they'll be given the space and the time to play with some freedom, and I really hope that they can expose that St Johnstone back line.
Yeah, you can see it. We saw it over in Estonia. I was there last week for the Champions League qualifier against Chaldieu. We'll see the highlights in just a second, but if you give Mikey Johnson time and space to run at your defence, then it plays right into his hands, so St Johnstone will need to be on their guard this afternoon.
As Kelly says, he can go either way. Mikey, very, very tricky, very creative. It's a big season for him. You know, he's came in wee bits last season. They want to play even more this season. He's got the ability, there's no doubt of that. You look at Christie as well alongside him in the paint. Forrest has been such a consistent performer for Celtic, but Christie kind of a little setback with his injury last year after exploding onto the scene, but I think he started the season in good form as well, so I think he's going to be a big player for Celtic this season.
Yeah, certainly been banging in the goals pre-season, has Ryan Christie, playing with such confidence and good in both the right foot and the left foot as well. But for them to have that freedom, Kelly, you need the solidity just behind you, and Scott Brown and Callum McGregor playing alongside that, perhaps in a little bit more of advanced role, but Scott Brown and McGregor just give the team that solidity in the middle of the park. Yeah,
and I think that is really important for attackers, to trust what's behind you, because that does give you the freedom to go and try things that might be deemed a bit risky. But you know, McGregor and Brown, two of the best players in the whole league, if not the two best players in the whole league last season. I'm sure the attackers will have every faith that if they do give the ball away, then the two guys will protect the defence and will protect Bain in the goals.
You know, he's a lot younger than us, Simon, is Scott Brown, but in football terms, he's relatively old, shall we say. He won't like me for saying that, but it's incredible to see him here and looking as fit as he does. I mean, he's still one of, if not the fittest guy in the squad.
Yeah, seen him yesterday. Very humble guy as well. You know, plays the role down when you speak to him. But it's such an important role. He's such a great captain for the club, and just polices in front of that back four. He can play that position with his eyes shut. You get McGregor, who for me is sure he can play anywhere in the Celtic team. He's a wee bit of creativity, but Bruni's a fantastic leader.
So if you've just joined us, the team this afternoon is Scott Bain in goal, Hatem El Hamed making his debut at right back, Nir Bitton and Christopher Ayer in central defence. Remember, both Jozo Simunovic and Christopher Julian are suspended for this game. Bolly Bolingoli is at left back, Scott Brown and Callum McGregor sitting midfielders just behind James Forrest, Ryan Christie and Mikey Johnson, with Odsonne Edouard up front. We'll chat about the European challenge in a couple of minutes. Let's have a look back at the most recent game, when Celtic completed a 7-0 aggregate victory against the Estonian champions Chaldieu over in Tallinn. To Bolingoli. Johnson thought about the run but checked back. Gets the pass though inside, and a great turn from Ncham. A real chance now. Johnson's looking for the return pass and he gets it. Chance for Mikey Johnson across the face of the goal, and Lee Griffiths is there to tap that one home from 2 yards. Beautifully worked goal involving Johnson and Ncham. And there's Lee Griffiths. We mentioned the spectacular goal last week. Well, he does tap-ins as well. Ralston. Now Brown. Bitton. Johnson has come inside to find Ncham. Space on the left side for Bolingoli. First time cross comes in, and it's more of a shot than a cross. I'm not sure Bolingoli meant that, but the goalkeeper Londak took no chances and just touched that one over the bar for a corner. Here's Johnson. Two defenders, cuts inside both of them. Still Johnson. Great ball into the danger area, and once again just Lee Griffiths right there on the end of that one. It's gone behind for the goal kick, but right in there where it matters. Outswinger from Griff, it's cleared, but only as far as Cham goes to curl that one into the far corner, and this time it's a lot closer from the Frenchman. chance here, no flag, so a real chance, and it's hit straight at Craig Gordon, who made the save. First chance that Craig Gordon's had to make a save, and he does his job well. As the ball comes in, it's a lovely pass into the box, and a real chance there for Christopher Julian. He punches the turf. He knows that could so easily have been his first goal for Celtic. Play goes on quickly. Here's Markovic on the edge of the box. Power. Bitton is across there. It's into the side of the goal there from Power. Close once again from the home side, and they've been awarded with a corner. Forward comes Celtic. Great run there from Lewis Morgan. A chance for Sved to open his account for Celtic, and the goalkeeper came out, closed the angle down. Well, perhaps Sved should have done better. What a chance, but perhaps he's just a little bit cold coming on and being presented with that chance. Gifted to him by Lewis Morgan. Bolingoli, lovely pass forward, and in space is Lewis Morgan once again driving at the Estonian defence. Finds Scott Sinclair, it goes for goal, and that was heading for the back of the net. Were it not for the fingertips of Londak, that was a wonderful move from Celtic. Julian is under that one, winning the ball in the air. The ball breaks to Lee Griffiths. Two defenders are back there, but a chance for Sved, and he goes for goal, and this time, in injury time, Marian Sved gets his first goal in the hoops for Celtic. That's what he's known for, and that's what he's done. Well, you can see what it means to him. The game might be over, the tie might be over, but for Marian Sved, that means everything, and what a finish it was. So no complacency there, getting the job done in Tallinn. Next up, the trip to Romanian champions Cluj, that one on Wednesday night before the return leg here at Celtic Park the following Tuesday. Simon, we can see here the trophy. The three trophies, of course, are coming out onto the plinth here at Celtic Park. If you missed the top of the programme, a lovely gesture. Billy McNeill and Stevie Chalmers' wives, Liz and Sadie, will be coming out to unfurl the championship flag. So we're just waiting for the presentation party, and Scott Brown will be out as well with both Liz and Sadie, and the team will be out for that, as will Celtic chairman Ian Bankier. Yeah, let's just go back to European qualification, Simon. A big round coming up against the Romanian champions, but I don't want to tempt fate. Celtic have looked pretty good in European qualification, looked consistent, looked as if we can score goals, and looked untroubled so far.
Yeah, two professional performances in the first two qualifying rounds. This is up. I think, Cluj have been in the Champions League recent times. I think Lenny stressed that the away tie being the first tie should be advantage for Celtic. You know what to do when you come back to Celtic Park the following week, but this will be a test.
And of course, in Neil Lennon, Kelly, we've got a manager who knows how to qualify for the Champions League. He knows how to qualify for the last 16 of the Champions League. He's been there and done it.
Yeah, precisely, and he'll know exactly how to get the team ready for the game this week and the following week. There are quite a lot of games coming up in short space of time, so I imagine they will manage the players and their wellness during that period and make sure that everyone is ready to play every game when it comes.
We've had a look at potential opponents for the potential playoff round should we get through against Cluj. Pretty similar in terms of standard of opposition, but it will be two very difficult ties. What do you think it would mean to Neil Lennon himself personally if he was to get Celtic into the Champions League group stages at the first attempt since coming back?
It'd be a marvellous attempt, for such an early part of the season, Jerry. It's a joke that we're having to play for qualifiers anyway. And this is where the tournament really starts, I think, against Cluj, and then a similar game in the next round. But for the club, the size of Celtic, it's where we belong in the Champions League. For Neil to get that, a huge boost.
Well, the atmosphere is ramping up a notch here at Paradise. In a couple of minutes' time, the Celtic team will be coming out, and the party, the flag unfurling party, will be out as well. In the meantime, the familiar sounds of "You'll Never Walk Alone" around Paradise. What a wonderful sight that is, and what a wonderful rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone by the Celtic supporters. They're in the stadium nice and early this afternoon. The sun has come out to pay us a visit as well. It's a beautifully warm day inside Celtic Park for what has become a rather familiar occasion. Never take this for granted. If you live through the 90s and Celtic not winning many titles, then you will know never take this kind of day for granted. If you're a young fan and you're used to success, let me tell you, it doesn't happen every single year. Rod Stewart's made the trip across the Atlantic to be here today, and I'm sure every Celtic fan inside this stadium is just waiting to be able to cheer the championship flag being unfurled for the 8th successive time. Just to let you know, if you've just joined us, the two very special guests who will be helping unfurl the flag, Liz McNeil and Sadie Chalmers, the wives of Billy and Stevie. It's a lovely gesture, and after the sadness of losing their husbands, I'm sure this is something that will give them great strength. Kelly?
Yeah, you know, it'll probably be a bit emotional for them, but to come out and get the reception that they're about to get, you know, and everything that the club means to them and means to their late husbands, it's such a nice touch from the club to give them this opportunity.
So here we go, a little bit earlier than normal. The Celtic team coming out onto the Paradise pitch. Of course, they will line up for the flag unfurling ceremony. All the players, minus captain Scott Brown, who will make his way out with Liz McNeil and Sadie Chalmers. I know the players will be thinking about the game in particular, Simon, but especially for the new players to be able to witness this and see just exactly what it means to be a Celtic player, it's probably a worthwhile exercise.
100%. If they had any doubt about the size of this club, they just have to come out here and look at these supporters there, the rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone. Fantastic occasion. They've obviously celebrated at the end of last season, but the players will be keen to get the game started now and going for the night.
And keen to, as Neil Lennon says, get off on the front foot and really take the game to St Johnstone. Hatem El Hamed there making his debut, taking in the Celtic Park atmosphere for the very first time. A great afternoon for our new Israeli right back. Celtic chairman Ian Bankier coming out to lead the flag presentation team. The pitch is looking absolutely wonderful at this time of the season. John Hayes and his ground staff have done a fantastic job to get this pitch ready for the new campaign. You can see there on the left Liz McNeil and Sadie Chalmers on the right getting a wonderful Paradise reception. Comes the familiar sight of Scott Brown carrying the SPFL Premiership trophy, a trophy that has made Celtic Park its home over the last 8 seasons. How much Neil Lennon and Scott would love to keep it here for at least another one more. So all that remains now is for the count up to 8 and the championship flag to be unfurled once more.
And we're going to help them to unfurl the flag once again in Paradise. And we're going to count this one up to 8.
there it is, the championship flag unfurled once again at Celtic Park. These fans, with the recent memory of the treble victory, celebrating that success with the wives of Billy McNeill and Stevie Chalmers. I'm sure it's an afternoon that these two wonderful ladies will not forget. And of course the Celtic family is always there with them and their families after the great memories that their husband has provided us over the decades. So one final round of applause from the Celtic faithful to Sadie and Liz as they make their way with Chairman Ian Bankier off the pitch. Just about to get ready for the football action then, so it's time now to hand you over to the commentary team this afternoon here inside Celtic Park as the teams get ready to break away and meet the St Johnstone players when they come out onto the pitch. Your commentators this afternoon, high up in the gantry at Paradise, Tom Boyd and Paul Cuddihy.
Always a special day at Paradise, the league flag unfurled again at Paradise on an emotional occasion. Liz McNeill and Sadie Chalmers, the wives of Billy and Stevie, the guests of honour, and delighted. This is an annual